here, for whom are all things, and by whom are all things. So he created it, and he created it from self. It sounds selfish, but it's not, because it's like he gave us all free will. We can choose to serve him or not. But I'm going to skip by that, so read it a little bit different. Take those two phrases out. For it became him in bringing many sons to glory. He did that through his death on the cross. He brought a whole bunch of us into the heavenly realm. He brought a whole, who knows how many, but he brought, because of his death on the cross, because of his going to hell for my sins, he created access for us to heaven when we die. We can't earn it, never deserve it, but by his grace we receive it. And that's what he's talking about, many sons to glory. And sons covers ladies as well as men. Or maybe it automatically covers ladies, but men, we need a special mention. I don't know. Think of it that way if you feel slighted. Ladies. For it became him in bringing many sons to glory to make the captain of their salvation perfect through suffering. So he created everything for himself, and then he took on flesh himself to say, you know what, I want to prove to you that it's still doable. Even though you fell, even though you didn't measure up, even though you didn't do what you needed to do. And we can't blame Adam and Eve. Okay. We can't blame Adam and Eve. Why? Because we make the same choice Adam and Eve make. I didn't eat from a tree of good and evil. He said, yes, we all do. And how is that? You ask. I happen to have the answer. And the answer is this. Whenever we decide we need to know, we want to know, and we don't go to God about it, that's eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Why? Because if God's not showing you, chances are the knowledge is not going to help you. If it's not going to help you, what's it going to do? It's going to hurt you. And if you insist and you don't go to God about it, it's not about God. It's about you. It's about selfishness. It's about wanting to know. And you know what? You can never know enough. That's the problem with eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You can never know enough. Well, I know this, this, and this, but I need to know this. And then you know that, but I need to know another 3 things. And then you learn those things, but I need another 3 times 3. And it's like, and it just goes on and on. Is that you'll never learn everything that you want to know. And since you're not God, you'll never know it anyway. So it doesn't take you any place productive. The alternative, is, of course, is to go to Jesus. Eat from the tree of life. Because at that point, it's not about knowing. There's a whole bunch of things I don't know, and I don't need to. There's only one thing I need to know. That's the truth. And the truth is Jesus Christ. See, when I know Jesus Christ, he gives me peace. He gives me joy. He guides and directs me. So even if it's dark, I don't have to worry about stumbling. He leads me to the truth, which is himself. That's all that I need. I don't need the truth. I don't need to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. All I need is the tree of life, which is truth, and that's Jesus Christ. Amen. We all sin the same sin of Adam and Eve. It's in our DNA. Who we were made. That's how we are. It's sinful nature. We're born in sin. But I want to come back to something that is interesting. He says, for it became him in bringing many sons to glory to make the captain of their salvation, which is Jesus Christ, perfect through sufferings. Sufferings plural. Jesus was made perfect through sufferings. Oh, I thought he was perfect beforehand. Evidently, there was something that was not perfect. He was perfect as God. But when he took on flesh, he had to be perfected. Because the flesh is not perfect. So he took on all the baggage we have, all the emotions, all the doubt, uncertainty, everything. Is like he inherited all of that, just like we do. And he had to deal with it. And what is interesting, he says, the captain of our salvation was made perfect through sufferings. He suffered just like we did. In fact, more. Why? Because he experienced everything that every one of us, now there's a whole bunch of things I'm sure that, there's people in this room that experience that I've never experienced in terms of suffering. He experienced everything that everyone ever experienced in suffering. It was complete. He died for your sins, if he died for your sufferings. If he was wounded for your transgressions, and bruised for your iniquities. He had to know him. So he was perfected in the flesh by his sufferings. Okay, that sounds good, that sounds nice, but how does that affect me? And the answer is this: if he's the captain of my salvation, and my captain went through that, what about me? He's my leader, and he had to go through suffering to be perfected. What does that imply for me? I'm going to have to too. He wants to perfect me through my suffering. Why does he allow bad things into your life? Why does he allow bad things into my life? To make me better. To make me stronger. To make me more holy. He never allows anything that's going to make me worse, but it's up to me to choose. Is it going to make me worse or is it going to make me better? It's always there. He's always encouraging us to make us better through our suffering. He says in John chapter 16, he said, in this world you shall have tribulation. You could just as easily say suffering. He's saying, you're going to experience the same kind of stuff that I did. Not at the same level. I'm not dying for a whole bunch of people. I'm not dying for anybody but me. Gotta say that. Birth and death are singular experiences. Only you can experience those. That's how it is. We're born by ourselves and we die by ourselves. The experience itself is personal. It said, okay, so in this world you shall have tribulation. It's a guarantee. But it's there to make us better. And he gave us this hope. In this world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. Not just the tribulation, the whole world itself. Why? Because the whole world is there to run you down. The same thing that gives you life is also there to destroy you. The oxygen that you breathe makes your body break down. This is the world we live in. What works to create you also works to destroy you. And will ultimately. But be of good cheer, because Jesus has overcome the world. When we get into Jesus, we will overcome also. And that's our challenge today. The challenges that you have today, the burdens that you have, the suffering that you have, the trials, the tribulations that you have today. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it get you down. It's there to draw you up to a higher level. It's there to make you better. It's there to bring you to that place of peace and joy in Jesus Christ. It's there to perfect you in Jesus Christ. Be of good cheer. Because Jesus, the captain of your salvation, the captain of my salvation, has overcome the world. And he's offering me, and he's offering you the same thing. And that's our message today.
Amen.